Imagine this. It's a crisp Monday morning in London, the kind where the air feels sharp and the city hums with purpose. Charlie, a brilliant marketing analyst originally from Barcelona, is stepping into his sleek, glass-walled office in the heart of the bustling capital. He's been absolutely crushing it at his job for over a year now, spearheading campaigns that have catapulted his company's sales into double-digit growth. His colleagues admire him, his clients trust him, and he's got a knack for turning data into gold. But today's a different beast entirely. Today, Charlie's facing a meeting that's got his palms sweaty, his heart pounding, and his mind racing. It's his annual performance review, and he's made up his mind to ask for a raise. In his head, Charlie's pacing a marathon, rehearsing lines he's jotted down on a crumpled sticky note stuck to his desk. I deserve more money. No, wait, that sounds too harsh. Okay, how about I'd like to discuss my salary? No, that's weak. How do I say this without stumbling all over myself? You see, Charlie's English is rock solid. He can banter about football over coffee or pitch a campaign to a room full of execs without breaking a sweat. But when it comes to talking about money, he freezes like a deer in headlights. What if he comes off too pushy and alienates his boss? Or too timid and undersells himself? What if his carefully chosen words get lost in translation and his boss misreads the whole thing? Welcome to the Business English Podcast. I'm Rob, and if you've ever felt a little like Charlie, nervous, unsure, or just plain awkward when it's time to talk money at work, you've landed in the perfect spot. Today's episode, Personal Finance and Money Talk in the Workplace, is all about arming you with the tools to navigate those high-stakes conversations, salary negotiations, asking for raises or bonuses, and unpacking compensation packages like a pro. Because here's the real talk. Mastering this skill isn't just about padding your bank account, it's about stepping into your confidence, earning the respect you deserve, and taking charge of your career trajectory. Now, picture Charlie walking out of that meeting with a grin on his face, a raise secured in his pocket, and a newfound sense of control. How did he pull it off? What exact phrases did he lean on to make it happen? And how can you work that same magic in your next money conversation? Stick with me because by the end of this episode, you'll have the answers, plus a playbook to turn those sweaty palm moments into victories. We're diving into why this skill is a must-have, the precise words to say, and the pitfalls to avoid. Ready to transform your approach and walk away a winner? Let's get started. So we're digging deeper into why mastering money talk in the workplace is more than just a handy trick. It's a total game changer. Let's rewind to Charlie, our marketing star from Barcelona, sitting in that London office. He's in his performance review, palms still damp, about to take the plunge and ask for a raise. But here's the million-dollar question, quite literally. Why does getting this conversation right matter so much? Spoiler alert, it's not just about the paycheck, though that's a pretty sweet perk. First and foremost, knowing how to talk about money can directly boost your bottom line. Think about it. When you negotiate your salary at the start of a job, you're not just setting your base pay, you're laying the foundation for every raise, bonus, and promotion that follows. Nail that initial conversation and you're building a financial ladder that climbs higher with every step. Flub it and you might find yourself stuck on a lower rung, playing catch-up for years. For Charlie, asking for that raise isn't just about extra euros or pounds in his bank account, it's about locking in his value and securing a stronger financial future with every campaign he crushes. But here's where it gets even bigger. It's about power, your power. When you can step into a room and confidently discuss raises, bonuses, or benefits, you're not just another name on the payroll, you're a force to be reckoned with. Imagine walking into a meeting armed with the perfect words to showcase your worth, and walking out with your boss nodding in agreement, maybe even impressed. That's what this skill unlocks. A sense of urgency that shifts how people see you and how you see yourself. It's not just about money, it's about owning your place at the table. So, where does this skill come into play? Well, everywhere you look. Picture landing a shiny new job offer in London. A great title, a cool office with a view, but the salary's a bit underwhelming. Negotiating it up could mean thousands more a year, money for that dream trip, or a cushion for life's curveballs. Or maybe you're in Charlie's shoes, sitting in a performance review, ready to tie your stellar results, like a 15% sales spike, to a well-deserved raise or bonus. How about unpacking a compensation package? Health plans, stock options, extra vacation days. Knowing how to ask the right question can turn a decent deal into an amazing one. And if you're freelancing or consulting, setting your rates with confidence is the difference between thriving on your terms and barely scraping by. Here's the kicker though. If you don't get a handle on this, someone else will. Someone else will swoop in and snag that raise, clarify that bonus structure, or negotiate the dream salary while you're left kicking yourself, wondering where you went wrong. But how do you make sure that's not your story? What exact words can transform a shaky, can I have more, into a polished, persuasive pitch that lands every time? Hang tight, we're about to break it all down with practical phrases you can steal and use as soon as tomorrow. The best is yet to come. Now it's time to roll up our sleeves and get practical. Charlie's still in that London meeting room, nerves buzzing, but he's about to turn it into a win. And you're about to get the exact tools to do the same. We're diving into phrases, polished, powerful, and ready to roll for salary negotiations, asking for raises or bonuses, and navigating compensation chats. Before we jump in, a quick shout out. Want more pro tips like these? Well, sign up for our weekly newsletter, The 3-Minute Minutes, for bite-sized resources and a full transcript of an episode. Or if you're ready to fast-track your skills, grab the Business English Podcast Premium subscription. Links are in the show notes. Alright, let's get to it. These phrases are your secret weapon. Professional yet approachable. Assertive without overstepping. I'll say each one, you repeat it out loud to shadow me, and then I'll give you a scenario where it shines. Plus a little nuance to make it yours. Ready? Here we go. First up, I'd like to discuss my compensation. I'd like to discuss my compensation. Imagine you're kicking off a performance review. You sit down, flash a calm smile, and drop this. It's polite but firm, setting the stage like a pro. The nuance? I'd like. This keeps it gentle and collaborative, while compensation broadens it beyond just salary. Think benefits, bonuses, the whole package. It's a classy way to open the door. Next, based on my research, the industry standard for this role is... Now picture this, you're negotiating a job offer. You've scoured salary sites, you know the benchmarks, and this line shows you're prepared. The magic lies in, based on my research. It's not just your opinion, it's grounded in facts, giving you instant credibility. Now here's a big one. Considering my contributions to the team, I believe a raise is warranted. Considering my contributions to the team, I believe a raise is warranted. Scenario. You're in Charlie's shoes, listing your wins, like boosting sales or streamlining a campaign. Then you hit them with this. Warranted is the star. It's formal, suggesting the raise is justified, not just a wish. Now, switching to value. Over the past year, I've successfully led several projects that increased our revenue by X%. Over the past year, I've successfully led several projects that increased our revenue by X%. Now, you're at a review, proving your worth with hard numbers. Swap X% for your own stats like 10% or 20%. Successfully adds a punch. It's not just I did stuff, it's I delivered results. Numbers stick in their minds. Use them and shine. Now, another good one here is I've taken on additional responsibilities such as you're justifying your bonus here. Maybe you trained new hires or handled a client emergency. Fill in such as with your specifics. The grammar twist here is in the phrasal verb taken on, to take on. This shows initiative. It shows that you stepped up without being asked. Now, compensation questions. Could you please clarify how the bonus structure works? Now, you could use this one when you're at an offer meeting, digging for details with poise. Could you please is your courtesy shield, while structure signals you're thinking big picture. And finally, what criteria are used to determine bonus eligibility? Now, quite simply, this one shows that you are proactive and detail-oriented. The word criteria here is a great word to use. It's precise and technical, and it also demands a clear response. If you're wondering if you really qualify, then this will crack the code. So these are your building blocks. Practice them, tweak them to fit your story, and make them your own. But here's the catch. Even the sharpest phrases can stumble if you hit common snags. What traps might Charlie or you fall into? And how do you sidestep them? That's coming up next. So we're getting into the nitty-gritty now, where Charlie, our marketing ace from Barcelona, could trip up in that London meeting room, and where you might too. You've got those polished phrases locked in. You're ready to roll, but even the best lines can falter if you hit these common traps. Let's unpack the mistakes non-native speakers often make when talking about money at work. Grammatical slip-ups, cultural missteps, and more, along with some killer tips to come out shining. First trap, being too blunt. Imagine Charlie blurting out, "I want more money." Ouch. It lands like a demand, doesn't it? In English-speaking workplaces, especially in places like the UK or US, that kind of directness can feel jarring, rude, even entitled. It's not a grammar issue, it's cultural. The fix? Lean on those softer phrases we practiced, like, "I'd like to discuss my compensation." It's the same goal, more cash, but delivered with a smoother, more collaborative vibe. Next, a grammar gremlin. Tense mix-ups. I've heard learners say, "I work hard last year, so I need a raise." Spot the problem? This should have been worked. Past tense for past effort. Bosses clock these slips, and it chips away at your confidence factor. Instead, go with, "Over the past year, I've worked hard." That's the present perfect tense, showing your efforts being consistent and ongoing. It's a small tweak, but it sounds effortlessly pro. Maybe you're from a culture where humility is prized, like Japan or India, for example. and bragging feels awkward or wrong. So you mutter, well, I did okay, I guess, instead of owning it with, I've led projects that boosted revenue by 15%. That's a cultural clash that could cost you serious cash. In English-speaking settings, managers expect you to highlight your wins, tie your achievements to facts, numbers, results, etc., and let them speak for you. Now, then there's the research fumble. Walking in blind and saying, I think I deserve more, without knowing the market rate. That is a gamble. If Charlie doesn't check what marketing analysts in London typically earn, say £45,000 versus his current £38,000, he's negotiating on quicksand. Research is your firepower. Skip it and you're left with a weak case, no matter how good your phrases are. Oh, and watch out for delivery disasters. You could have a gem like, could you clarify how the bonus structure works? But if you mumble it, fidget with your pen or avoid eye contact, it's dead on arrival. Non-verbal cues are huge in English-speaking cultures. A shaky voice or slumped shoulders scream doubt, even if your words are flawless. So how do you ace this? Here's your toolkit. Prep like a pro. Write down your key points, achievements, stats and phrases and practice out loud. Charlie stood in his flat, mirror in front of him, rehearsing until it felt natural. Be specific. Vague lines like, I've done a lot, fall flat. Try, I've cut campaign costs by 10%. This is specific, undeniable and powerful. Listen up. If your boss pushes back, don't steamroll. Pause, hear them out, then respond. It's a conversation, not a showdown. And finally, stay cool. No raise today? Smile and say, well, thanks for considering, and regroup. Confidence, not desperation, wins the long game. But here's the twist. Even with all this, there's one sneaky mistake that trips up even the pros. Timing. When is the worst possible moment to ask for a raise? We're wrapping that up next, so don't go anywhere. And that brings us to the end of today's Business English podcast. And we've just powered through the wild, wonderful world of money talk in the workplace. From Charlie's sweaty-palmed prep in that London office to the phrases that could land you a raise, we've covered it all. Why this skill is a must, how to nail it with the right words, and the traps to dodge along the way. You're now equipped to turn those awkward, nerve-wracking moments into confident wins. How empowering does that feel? Now, let's flash forward. Charlie strides out of his review, a grin stretching ear to ear, a raise locked in, and a fresh swagger in his step. That could be you, practicing those lines, sidestepping those pitfalls, and owning your worth like never before. Speaking of practice, it's your secret weapon. Grab a friend, a mirror, even your cat. Role-play these conversations until they flow like second nature. The more you say them, the more they become part of you. And one final tip to lock it in. As I mentioned before, timing is everything. Don't ask for a raise when your boss is swamped, like during a company crisis or right after budget cuts. Wait for a calm moment, ideally after you've delivered a big win they can't ignore. Get that right and you're setting yourself up for success. Loved this episode? Well, share it with your colleagues, friends, or anyone chasing that next career milestone. Thanks for joining me on the Business English podcast. Keep learning, keep growing, and of course, keep it strictly business.